A storm is coming to the Bridgerton world. And it begins with Benedict. This season, the man known for his calm smile and open heart will be tested in ways he never imagined. He will face love, loss, temptation, and a truth so painful that it forces him to choose who he really wants to be. Season 4 is not just another chapter, it's the moment Benedict steps out of the shadows and into his darkest story yet. Before Benedict's world begins to fall apart, he must return to the man he was hopeful, curious, and quietly searching for something more. He has always been the Bridgerton brother who walks with color on his hands and dreams in his eyes. While the rest of his family followed society's rules, Benedict followed his heart. He loved art more than titles, freedom more than expectations, and imagination more than any ballroom rule. Written by the Ton. But beneath that gentle charm was a man who felt out of place in his own world. He was a Bridgerton by name, yet inside, feared he was never enough, not noble enough, not talented enough, not certain enough of who he wanted to be. Every stroke of his paintbrush carried his longing to escape the pressures placed on him. He smiled at parties, but his mind drifted to a world where he could live without judgment. When we last saw him, Benedict stood at a crossroads. In earlier seasons, he tasted a life beyond society's control, late-night art lessons, masked encounters, moments where he felt truly seen, but none of it lasted. Every time he reached for happiness, something slipped away. A dream ended. A romance faded. A truth was revealed too late. And each loss carved a quiet wound inside him. Meanwhile, his siblings moved forward. Anthony found love. Colin returned home, changed forever. Daphne built her own family. One by one, they all stepped into new lives. Benedict, however, remained suspended, still searching for his purpose, still unsure of where he belonged. The pressure around him grew heavier with each passing season. His mother wanted him to settle. Society wanted him to conform. But Benedict, he wanted something deeper, something real. Season 4 begins with a man who has everything: wealth, name, status, but feels nothing is truly his. His art can no longer hide the emptiness he carries. His charming smile begins to crack, and for the first time, Benedict starts questioning whether he has been running from the truth all along. This is the calm before his storm. Because in the chapters ahead, Benedict will face a love that shakes him, a betrayal that breaks him, and a secret that changes everything he believes about himself and his family. Benedict has always carried light within him, but in Season 4, that light begins to flicker. It starts with a quiet feeling, one he cannot name, yet cannot escape. Something in him is shifting, something deep and restless. For years, he searched for meaning through art, through adventure, through stolen nights that felt brighter than the day. But now, none of it brings him peace. His world feels heavier. The colors he once loved no longer speak to him the same way. The Ton looks at Benedict and sees elegance, talent, and charm. They see a man who should be content. But they do not see the shadows growing behind his calm eyes. They do not see the doubts that cling to him when he wakes from uneasy dreams. They do not see the questions he whispers to himself when no one is listening. This season, those shadows begin to rise to the surface. Much of Benedict's darkness comes from a battle. He has ignored for too long the battle between who he is expected to be and who he wants to become. His family's expectations wrap around him like iron chains. His mother speaks of duty, of marriage, of his role in the Bridgerton name. His brothers advise him on honor and responsibility. Even society, with all its polished rules, pushes him into a mold he never asked for, and Benedict feels himself breaking beneath it all. He starts pulling away from the world he knows, skipping gatherings, abandoning his paintings, disappearing into late-night rides with no destination. His thoughts spiral into deeper places where he questions every choice he has made. What if he has wasted his life chasing dreams that were never meant for him? What if he is not the artist he believed he was? What if he is not as brave as he hoped? But the darkness inside him is not only about self-doubt. It is also tied to a secret he carries, one that whispers of a past moment he has never forgiven himself for. A mistake. A heartbreak. a truth he buried so carefully that even he struggles to face it now. As season 4 begins, that buried truth starts to claw its way back into his life, piece by piece. And then comes something even more dangerous: temptation. A choice that promises freedom but threatens everything he loves. A person who brings color into his life, but also chaos. A desire that pulls him toward a future he may not be ready for. This is Benedict's turning point. This is where his darkness begins to take shape. This is where the charm fades, and the man underneath finally steps into view. Benedict's darkest chapter does not begin with a fight or a scandal. It begins with a pair of eyes that stop him cold. A woman who steps into his life without warning. It feels strangely familiar, as if he had been waiting for her without knowing it. She is not like the women of the ton, who smile with perfect manners and speak in polite circles. No, she carries a quiet fire, a mystery that clings to her every movement. And in that moment, Benedict feels something shift inside him. Something he can't explain but cannot ignore. She enters the season like a secret. No grand announcement. No introduction. Just a fleeting moment that changes everything. Unlike the others, she doesn't try to impress him. She doesn't bow to his name. In fact, she seems to avoid him, disappearing into crowds, leaving behind only questions. And Benedict, who once drifted through life with calm patience, suddenly finds himself restless, drawn toward the one person who makes his world feel alive again. But this is not a simple love story. The ton whispers about her background, though no one knows the truth. Some say she comes from a fallen family. Others claim she is hiding from something or someone. Every rumor tightens the knots of danger around her, yet Benedict sees something different. He sees strength wrapped in silence. He sees courage disguised as caution. And more than anything, he sees a person who understands loneliness as deeply as he does. Their connection grows in stolen moments. A brush of hands in a crowded hallway. A shared glance at a masquerade where she hides behind a silver mask. A soft laugh that escapes her before she can stop it. Each moment plants a new seed inside Benedict, pulling him away from the life he has always known. It feels like fate, but also like a warning, because with every step closer to her, Benedict steps deeper into a world filled with risk. Her secrets begin to surface: shadows of debts, hidden letters, and a truth that could destroy more than just her reputation. And yet Benedict does not pull away. Instead, he leans in. For the first time in a long while, he believes he has found someone who sees him, not the Bridgerton name, not the charming artist, but the man who has been searching for something real. Their love is built in silence and danger. It grows between lies she cannot confess and truths he is not prepared to hear. But this is the spark that lights Benedict's darkest season. Because loving her does not just threaten his standing in society, it threatens the fragile balance he has kept inside himself for years. And soon, Benedict must face a terrifying question. Is he falling in love or falling into ruin? Every love story carries a moment when everything feels too perfect, too bright right before the darkness arrives. For Benedict, that moment shatters quietly, like a thin piece of glass slipping from his hand. It begins with something small, a sudden change in her behavior, a silence in her eyes where warmth once lived. She pulls away, though she never says why. Her smile becomes guarded, her visits rare. And Benedict, who finally felt his heart beating again, senses that something terrible is approaching. He tries to reach her, but each attempt is met with a wall he cannot see through. She gives him half answers, forced laughter, and promises that feel hollow. The ton starts to whisper louder. Rumors grow teeth. Some say she is hiding a scandalous past. Others claim she is connected to someone dangerous. And while Benedict ignores the gossip, he cannot ignore the fear spreading inside him when the truth finally strikes. It does not come with a scream, it comes with a whisper. Benedict learns that she never entered his world by chance. Someone introduced her into society with a purpose, with a plan that placed her directly in his path. A plan that had nothing to do with love, and everything to do with power. He discovers letters she tried to destroy, secrets she tried to carry alone, secrets tied to debts, threats, and a person from her past who refuses to let her go. For Benedict, This is not just heartbreak, it is betrayal layered with pain. He feels foolish for believing he could escape his emptiness through someone else. He feels angry for the first time in years, not just at her, but at himself. He tries to confront her, but she disappears before he can ask a single question. The woman who brought color back into his life vanishes like a shadow, leaving only fragments of truth behind. The betrayal sends Benedict spiraling. He throws himself into reckless nights, trying to drown the ache in his chest. He quits painting for days, then comes back to his studio, only to tear apart everything he creates. His family grows worried as he withdraws from dinners, from conversations, from everything that once grounded him. His smile fades, replaced by a distant stare that pain changes people, but for Benedict, it becomes a doorway. After her disappearance, the world around him begins to warp. Silence turns sharp. Shadows feel heavier. He senses that someone is watching him, or perhaps waiting for him. Her absence leaves behind questions that refuse to leave his mind, and the more he tries to ignore them, the louder they echo. It begins with a sealed envelope delivered without a name. Inside, a single message written in rushed handwriting. You were never meant to be part of this. No explanation. No signature. Just a warning that chills him to the bone. Benedict turns the note over and over, searching for meaning, for a clue, for anything that could lead him back to her. But the message remains silent, hiding the truth behind thin, trembling lines of ink. Then come the whispers. Servants muttering about a man seen lurking near the Bridgerton estate. A masked figure spotted at a ball watching Benedict from across the room before disappearing into the night. Even his studio, his sanctuary, feels invaded when he discovers someone has moved his unfinished sketches. Not stolen, just touched, as if someone wanted him to know they had been there. His world, once bright with color, now moves like a puzzle he cannot solve. As Benedict digs deeper, he uncovers pieces of her past that she never wanted him to find. A family torn apart by debt, a guardian known for cruelty, a scandal hidden by the quiet corners of society, paid for with silence and fear. He realizes her secrets were not born from shame, they were born from survival. And someone powerful, someone ruthless, is determined to keep them buried. But the mystery does not stop with her. Benedict soon learns that her arrival in his life was part of a larger game, one that reaches far beyond either of them. There are whispers of forged alliances, hidden debts, and a plot involving a figure who has influence over multiple families in the Ton. A person who uses secrets as weapons. A person who had reasons to place her in Benedict's path, and reasons to tear them apart. The more he uncovers, the more Benedict feels the weight of danger pressing in. But instead of fear pushing him back, it pulls him forward. For the first time in his sheltered life, he is facing a world filled with real risk, real darkness, and real consequences. And beneath the fear, a fierce truth burns in him. He cannot walk away. Not now. Not when he knows the woman he loves is tangled in a web she never chose. Every clue he finds brings him closer to the truth, and closer to the edge of a world he never wanted to enter. But Benedict is no longer the man who painted his days quietly. He is a man searching for answers. A man willing to step into the shadows for the sake of love. A man who is about to uncover a secret that will shake the Ton and break him all over again. There is a moment in every person's life when they stop running from themselves. For Benedict, that moment arrives in the stillness of his studio, surrounded by canvases he once loved but now feels betrayed by. He walks through the dim light, touching the edges of old paintings, realizing none of them reflect the man he has become. They show dreams, innocence, hope, pieces of a version of Benedict who no longer exists, the truth he has uncovered. The lies she carried, the danger surrounding them both, it all pushes him to a breaking point. But instead of shattering, Benedict begins to rebuild himself. Slowly, quietly, painfully, he abandons the soft smile he used to hide behind. He stops, pretending to be unaffected. He allows the darkness inside him to rise, not to destroy him, but to reshape him. This is where Benedict transforms. He starts to question every rule the Ton forced on him. He questions duty, expectation, even the meaning of honor. He realizes he has lived much of his life in a gentle cage, mistaking comfort for freedom. And now, forced to face a world of secrets and danger, he discovers something fierce within himself, something sharp and determined, a strength he never knew he possessed. Benedict becomes bolder with each discovery. He confronts people he once feared disappointing. He challenges the quiet control his family holds over him. He stops allowing others to define who he should be. The turmoil of the season cracks open a deeper truth. Benedict is not meant to follow the path chosen for him. He is meant to carve a new one shaped by passion, conviction, and truth rather than tradition. But his transformation is not only internal, it changes his relationships too. His siblings see the shift first. Anthony notices the anger simmering beneath Benedict's calm tone. Colin sees the weight in his eyes. Eloise senses the unspoken pain written in the way he breathes. They worry, but they do not understand. How could they? None of them have ever fought for love in the shadows. None of them have ever had to unravel lies that threaten to swallow them whole. This new version of Benedict walks with purpose. His gaze is sharper. His voice carries a quiet command. The dreamer has become a man willing to step into fire if it means protecting the truth. And this truth, no matter how painful, leads him back to Herbie, because even now, even after everything, his heart refuses to let go. He knows the final answers lie with her. He knows the danger she feared is still closing in. And he knows that the only way forward is to face the darkness. Hedden, Benedict's transformation is not the end of his struggle. It is the beginning of his rise. A rise shaped by heartbreak, mystery, and a love powerful enough to wound him, and strong enough to save him. Redemption never arrives gently. For Benedict, it comes like a storm breaking open the sky loud, sudden, impossible to ignore. After following every thread of danger, after facing truths meant to crush him, he finally finds her again. Not in a ballroom surrounded by light, but in a quiet corner of London where shadows cling to every wall. She stands there with fear in her eyes and secrets trembling on her lips. And for the first time, she does not run. Her truth spills out in pieces, broken, painful, raw. She tells him about the debts that chained her, the powerful figure who controlled her every step, the threats that forced her into a world she never wanted. She admits she tried to leave him to protect him, that every lie she told was born from fear, not betrayal, that loving him was the one thing she never meant to do, yet could not stop. Benedict listens, and something inside him softens, but it does not erase the pain. He stands between love and anger, between the life he had and the life he now faces. The man he used to be would have walked away, letting the wound close slowly. But the man he has become, the man shaped by heartbreak and darkness, refuses to abandon her to the shadows. This is where his redemption begins. Benedict confronts the enemy pulling the strings, the person who used secrets as weapons and fear as currency. It is not a dramatic duel or a violent clash. Instead, it is a quiet negotiation sharpened by Benedict's newfound strength. He offers what this figure never expected, a mind capable of seeing beyond lies and a heart too stubborn to surrender. Benedict fights not with fists, but with truth, and truth becomes the blade that cuts the bond holding her captive. When the final threat falls away, the silence that follows feels heavy and sacred. Benedict and the woman he loves stand together, both changed, both scarred. He does not promise a perfect life. She does not promise easy love. Instead, they offer something far deeper, understanding, and a willingness to rebuild from the ruins. He returns home, carrying the weight of everything he has faced. His family sees it immediately, the tired eyes, the quieter steps, the man who no longer smiles without meaning it. But they also see something new: resolve, purpose, a fire that was never there before. This is not the carefree Benedict they once knew. This is a man who has walked through darkness and come back with his heart still beating. Redemption does not erase the shadows around him. It does not erase the wounds he now carries. But it gives him clarity. It allows him to breathe without fear. And it teaches him that real love is not soft or simple. It is a choice. A risk. A promise made in the middle of both chaos and quiet. As Season 4 closes, Benedict stands at the edge of a new beginning. Not the dreamer he once was. Not the broken man he became, but someone stronger. Someone wiser. Someone ready for the life he will build with his own hands. His darkest chapter did not end him. It shaped him, prepared him, transformed him, and now, Benedict Bridgerton finally steps into the light he created for himself.